But for me, man, as a whole, I said A. The reason why I went with A, I said my biggest knock throughout the whole draft was pick 24 and pick 5. I mean, the fifth round pick. 24 just because it's a running back at, in the first round, just the lack of value there. But when I look at the other players that were available, I said, this is the best guy. I said, okay, if I wanted to make the case for ETN, sure, but either way, it's still a running back, right, at pick 24. I like both of those guys over Tevin Jenkins. I like both of those guys over Javonte Williams. So if that's the case, if that's the only thing, if we would have took them, 8 picks later, if it was in the second round, it would have been better. I'm not losing sleep over that, especially seeing that all those guys were gone by the time you got to pick 33, 34. So I don't have an issue with that. And then, like I said, just the louder milk pick in the fifth round. I just personally wouldn't have traded back into the fifth for him, but I still don't have an issue just because, like I said, the guys that are there right now, we have our starters. He's going to be just added depth, and he's going to get developed behind 2 beasts. I love the linebacker pickups, though. I think that Buddy Johnson and Quincy Roche are going to be able to come in here, and I think Buddy earlier than Quincy, but I think both of those guys are going to be able to be productive players for our defense. And then offensively, I mean, like you said, when you talk about Dan Moore, when you talk about Kendrick Green, extremely high on the Kendrick Green pick. I think that those 2 guys address 2 needs. Number 1, we have our potential starting center in Kendrick Green, and number 2, we got depth and competition for Chooks, more importantly, at that left tackle spot, so we can see the best man get it out of there. So as a whole, man, that's the thing that I like about it, man. I'm good with that part. And like I said, at the end, man, when you bring in a guy like Trey Norwood, who's a versatility guy, when you bring in a guy like Presley Harvin, who's a high pedigree punter, when you bring in those type of guys, I just think that just adds to it. And I don't even include the undrafted guys because obviously we can add that role when you bring in Shakur Brown as well. But as a whole, I thought that they really hit on the piece they needed to hit on early on, and they got the development piece that they needed to get later on in the draft as well.
Yeah, dude, I love this draft. We went through every pick, and I'm just like, I'm good with it. Mm-hmm. Outside of maybe, like we said, the 5th round pick.
Yeah.
But the one knock you could put on that is we traded the 4th rounder, but then I just said the counter is we're going to have a ton of compensatory picks. You can only have so many players on a roster, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. If they feel highly about them, whatever. I'm good with it. You could splurge a little bit there. I was going to say A, but you know what? There's too much shit talking out here about my draft, or about the Steelers and their draft.
Uh-oh. Is this Big Dick energy?
Mel Kiper's saying that we had the worst draft in the NFL.
Here it is.
Tied for the bottom with 3 other teams.
Oh, here we go.
So fuck it. A+ for the Steelers draft. I love the first 3 picks. The first 2 picks, Najee Harris, Pat Fryerman, and then Kendrick Green. Awesome first 3 picks. Talented guys. These are going to be starters right off the bat. Bonafide impact, and then we got extreme value, in my opinion, from rounds 4 to 7.
Yeah,
these dudes that we're talking about, Quincy Roche, he's gonna come in, maybe get 5 to 10 snaps, give T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith the rest, maybe some impact there.
Yeah,
Buddy Johnson, could he be a 50% snap guy, inside linebacker, middle of the season? Could he take Vince Williams' spot? No. Who knows? He could be the perfect guy to match up with Devin Bush down the line too if he lives up to his upside. Dan Moore, like you said, he's going to be competing for the left tackle spot. He seems like he has some upside. And I just like the mentality element from the offensive lineman that we got. This run blocking style, this aggressive style. We'll work on the finer points, coaching-wise. Adrian Clem, he's talked about that. But I really like the draft, dude. Like, every pick, I'm just like, this is a great pick. Like, who else are you going to draft? I brought up this point earlier. And I think a lot of the players that we did get are going to make impact not only this season, but for seasons going forward. So, A+ for the Steelers draft.
I like it.